Will, before I let you go, we got to ask the big question. What do you think is price action looking like over the next week or so? And then what's kind of your price thoughts through the rest of this year? We're currently sitting around $45,000, $46,000, $47,000. Where are we going?
Yeah, I think over the next week, it kind of depends like what derivatives look like. And so you kind of have to like look at it as it comes. Like if funding just moons all of a sudden, like open interest moons, then we probably get a correction there in the short term. So I don't know, it's kind of hard to gauge over the next week. I'd say over the next couple of weeks higher, looking to kind of retest 50K as like a pretty important level. I think we could potentially set, theoretically a lower high there. But I think like if we get above 50K, the legitimacy of like a thesis of some kind of dead cat bounce, I think really dies down after we get above that 50K level, partially because it's like technical sport. Also because just in general, it's a round number, right? Like, sometimes it's as simple as just looking at like psychological levels in the market. And, round numbers are always just, the common thing that price finds resistance at. So yeah, I think like 50K, we'll probably retest that in the next couple of weeks and then kind of gauging the reaction there. And then also like I built like this on-chain like pricing model. And so it looks at like some of these metrics I didn't build, but I just put them all together. So it's looking at like the floor that historically for all Bitcoin, like in the bottom of the bear market, and then also at the top, and then the mean between the two, and you're looking at the realized price. Anyway, I'm probably like boring people to death here, but there's one mid price level that I would be watching. It's right around 57K right now. It's kind of like it's sloping upwards slowly. It's adding a couple $100 a day. But I think if we get back above that, then like it would be full confirmation in my mind that we're going much higher. And then from there, if we broke above 57K, like I'd probably be targeting the mean between realized price and the top price. So that's like right around 92K right now. I'm kind of grinding slowly upwards. So.
Okay.
We'll see if we get that confirmation. But over the next couple weeks, I think we retest 50.
A follow-on to that is I recently was talking to Dan Held and a couple of guys who really believe in this like super cycle thesis where basically they think hundreds of thousands of dollars of Bitcoin by the end of the year. Do you buy any of that?
It's hard to tell. Like there's so many factors. I would say though, I think like Bitcoin moves away from this 4-year cycle. I think eventually Bitcoin just becomes more free flowing, kind of in correlation to like real rates and just in general, the raw supply and demand. Like I don't think a lot of these like overheated signals for the cycles that I look at, I think they'll all get broken at some point, whether it's like this cycle or the next. Obviously like it's impossible to say, but I suspect like over time, Bitcoin will just become more freely traded amongst the just raw, supply and demand and trade more in tandem with like some of the more macro factors. Like, obviously Bitcoin has been majority, retail driven. So a lot of this stuff hasn't mattered, but I think you'll start to move away from like the 4-year cycle. So yeah, like, does that happen this time? I don't know. It's hard to say. I guess we'll kind of like get a better grasp for that towards the end of the year when we start to see like the kind of buyers that announce. I think like you'll probably have some big buyers towards the latter half of the year, just because like, the really strong accumulation we've been seeing. And like these people probably aren't going to announce until it makes them look smart to do so. Like why would they announce when, price is still at like 40K? They're going to come out and announce it like, new all-time highs. Like, oh yeah, we bought that down there. Yeah, like what do you mean? But they're not going to say it now when it doesn't make them look really smart to do so. So I don't know. Long story short, I think it just depends on some of like the more like extraneous factors that we'll probably get a better grasp on throughout the year. And then obviously, whatever's going on with the dollar has a huge impact on Bitcoin, right? Like if all of a sudden everybody loses trust in the dollar, well then, that's insanely bullish for Bitcoin. But it's really hard to like, I guess, call the timing in terms of like, will that be this cycle or next?
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching that clip of the Best Business Show. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you know when we go live every weekday, and then head to SoFi.com/pomp so that you can get an account and we can get after it.